Hey guys, this is Porkchop 118 here, even though I'm probably going to change my name. I'm here with one of my really good friends, probably one of my best friends, Andrew Hullabaloo. Say hi.
Hello, class is now in session. I am here to learn just as you all are.
Alright, we're here to discuss the new Google Stadia thing that got announced. It got announced a little while ago, a few months ago, but they just did their Stadia Connect, I think, something like that today. And I want to talk with you guys about it. I want to share my thoughts, and I figured I'd bring Andrew in as like an audience stand-in for anyone who doesn't really know what's going on, and as someone to just like banter with about the state of gaming and everything. We're gonna be going off a little bit, talking about Stadia and then how we think gaming is going to evolve. He's gonna say he's not very inclined to like be able to talk about this, but I think we'll have some good insight. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, that sounds great, but Porkchop118 YT, why, what is a Google Stadia?
I'm glad you asked, Mr. Andrew underscore Hullabaloo. Let me fill you in with some knowledge, my friend.
Let's just
See,
jump into
Google
it.
Google announced their console, if you will, called Google Stadia. It's basically this. It's confusing what it is. A streaming service, technically. It's their way of making basically gaming without like a console or something like that. They want you to be able to
But we
play
have PC for
games.
that.
No, but listen, they want you to be play. They want you to play anywhere. They want you to be able to play games on any device you have. Your
But that's what
crappy
mobile devices are
desktop.
for.
Exactly, but you can play it on your mobile. But like you can be playing 4K like 60 FPS games on your mobile device, on your crappy laptop, crappy desktop, stuff like that, on your TV with a Chromecast, something like that. They want you to be able to play it anywhere, anytime, as long as you have a stable enough internet connection.
Okay, so the Steam Link, basically.
But good.
Yes. Well, hopefully. We have yet to see, for sure.
Because this is different than Steam Link. This is basically like any device you have connected to Google. This will basically let you stream it anywhere. Like I said, your crappy desktop, your laptop, your tablet, your phone. Like I can play. They pretty much showed off 4K Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, all like on my phone. I could play it on.
Okay, cool. So my baby blue HP laptop will be able to play things in 4K, right? Is that
Yes.
what I'm getting from this? Okay, it's good. I'm already signed up.
That's the thing too. That like this is what I find interesting because say we don't get good PCs or whatever, when this thing comes out, they announced their Founders Edition today, which is basically it's a Chromecast Chromecast Plus or something like that that you can use if you want to play on your TV. Stadia controller, and then it comes with like all the Destiny, all the stuff, whatever. But then it comes with a 3 month pass and a 3 month buddy pass. So
Hmm.
I can buy this Founders Edition for like $129 and give you my Buddy Pass, and we both can play games for 3 months on Google Stadia.
Oh, great. That would be good to live stream.
I'm pretty sure.
Shameless plug at Porkchop118 YT on Twitch.
Thank you. You're doing it way better than I could have. What I want to do is look more into it because they were talking about the subscription service. You can either but they were talking about you can buy the games separately for $60, buy your games, whatever, and then they have a pro subscription for $10 a month, and the Founders Edition comes with 3 months. I'm guessing that's where you can play with any game you want, or something like that. I'm
Hmm.
hoping. I need to look more into that. I don't think they made it abundantly clear. I'm on their website looking through the forums and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
so you're gonna be able to see like oh, they got a lot of games on here already, like Xenoverse 2, The Crew, Division 2, Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Mortal Kombat 11, Rage, Final Fantasy 15, Tomb Raider,
All games
Just
I've
Da-
never played.
Just Dance. You can play Just Dance on your Google
Woo!
Stadia.
You can play Just Dance? Oh, I am so hyped for this now.
I can play Just Dance on my mobile phone anywhere I want with Google Stadia. Thanks, Google.
Ah, wow, technology. It's come so far. The future of gaming is today.
Okay, so what it's looking at right here, Stadia Pro comes with resolution up to 4K, frame rate 60 FPS, sound 5.1 surround sound. Buy games whenever you want. Yes. Add additional free games released regularly. Yes, starting with Destiny 2 the collection. So what it sounds like is they're going to offer games for this service that you can play along with Destiny and a bunch of different games that you can play, stuff like that. They're going to add games to this subscription service, but you can also buy your $60 games. You own them when you buy them. You can play them anywhere you want. They're yours. What I found interesting is basically they were talking about any device with a Chrome on it, you could play on it. They were talking about if uh if you want to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if you're watching an Assassin's Creed Odyssey trailer and you're like, oh, that looks good, and you're on a Chrome browser, basically at the end of it there will be an option that says play on Stadia. You press that and you're immediately playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on whatever browser that you were like looking at the trailer on.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that actually sounds really neat.
yeah.
Alright.
This is freaking like this is what I want to talk about. Like this is crazy where gaming is evolving like this essentially. Like it's starting to become so much more of a thing where before it seemed we were so divided. We were so like you have to have a game console, all this internet, your TVs, whatever. You have to have your Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus. You can't play with anyone you want. And then like
It's paving the way to more accessibility.
exactly. They're coming in now. Like, even Call of Duty just announced they're doing cross-play. I think Destiny just announced that they're doing cross-save. Like obviously PlayStation hasn't confirmed if PS4 is going to be involved into that, but it's it's crazy how more open we're getting with stuff like that now. Like they're saying you can get Destiny 2 on here and you can transfer your Xbox, your PC character over to Stadia. Stadia can probably play with my Xbox friends, something like that down the line. It's the gaming is becoming such a weird thing anymore.
It's
Like
becoming such a powerful thing, and man. I can't wait for the video game Uprising. I, for one, welcome our new Stadia overlord.
I see a lot of people like saying like, "Oh, Stadia trash." Like I don't see any use for it. I got my consoles or whatever. But like honestly, like I see a lot of use for it, especially when it comes down to like no offense, like people like you and stuff like that. When you have this laptop and you always talk about like you're saving up for a computer and stuff like that. If you have internet, you get something like Stadia, your laptop can play 4K 60 FPS games.
That really does sound super neat. It almost sounds too good to be true, which is why I'm gonna try to like hold over and like kind of see where this goes and where it gets taken. Because it could be like a No Man's Sky situation all over again, where it got too ambitious for its britches.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Like I think you'll have to grow and wait for it. I think it's one of those like I think it will launch strong, but I think like over time they can like basically refine it and get it better because they were talking and basically it all comes from Google is hosting the game in their servers. Their game is running off of their like high-end specs and all of their servers, and then it's being transported to you through streaming software into whatever system you're using to play it on. So I
Mm-hmm.
find that really interesting because a lot of people are saying it's not going to have practical use, but I really think it will. Say like you have a low income family or something like that and they have Wi-Fi because
Go
and
on.
like and they have Wi-Fi because honestly Wi-Fi is becoming essential anymore if you need to stay with the times or do work from home and stuff like that, homework for like college and stuff like that. So, say you have Wi-Fi and like a mother or something, father, child, they have their child and they're like, "Hey, I want a PS4. Sorry, we can't afford $500 right now for your PS4, your PS5." With Stadia, there's not gonna be like what you might call it. There's not gonna be different console generations. There's gonna be this one thing you technically don't have to pay for. You could buy this Chromecast thing, but either you can play this anywhere. if the kid has a little laptop or like a tablet, if they get a controller, and even if you want to buy the Founders Edition, which is the Chromecast for the TV, this is $129
Mm-hmm.
with the Chromecast, a controller, 3 months of the service, which sounds like it's gonna have a decent selection of games on it. And then the same thing. Oh, if he gets one game for Christmas or your birthday or something like that, you can still buy it for Stadia, and you can play that anytime. Like parents don't have to worry about in 7 years a new console generation is gonna come out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really do see like the use of something like this. Like I don't want to put all the eggs in the basket because I understand it might have a rocky launch, something like that. But I think if gaming becomes something like this, where like it's becoming more unified and more accessible, like I think people forget a lot of times, like everyone can't get a PS4 or an Xbox or Switch or something like that. So having something like Stadia, where if you have a decent amount of like internet, like you could play this anywhere. Like they were talking about, I think you need 35 megabits to play like 4K 60 FPS, and if they said if you're under 10, you can at least play 720. That sounds decently accessible to me, honestly.
That sounds very accessible to someone like me. Hey.
Like I don't deny there's gonna be input lag at some point. There's gonna have to be like room for improvement. But if this comes out strong and this thing works, like this is setting a precedent for the entire gaming industry. And I know Microsoft has something like this plan that they want to do streaming, like with their Project X Cloud. And I'm really looking forward to see what they do with that if it beats Stadia, because like having these two things at once just means like this is where gaming is heading. Like this means that we can have something as accessible as this.
It is the
It
future. Everybody invest in your Stadia stocks now.
I just love how you come in and just make like stupid jokes while I rant about everything.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm here for. That's the only thing I can contribute to discussions.
Yeah, so what is like your take on everything so far? I mean, you don't gotta get like philosophical or anything, but
Uh, well, here I go. Here I go. That's to be all philosophical. No, it sounds it sounds really really neat. It sounds very promising. This whole thing. Like I have. Like I going into this, I had no idea what any of this was about. But sitting down here, just hearing this information relayed to me from a friend, it sounds like a really neat thing. And again, as I've said before, it almost sounds too good to be true. So I'm gonna be try to be I guess the term is cautiously optimistic about it. About this whole thing in regards to where it's going. I am like kind of concerned like about like all of these promises and the fact that these promises might not be delivered upon very well. But I am like overall like excited for like the direction that this all is like headed and what this could mean for the future. Much like the devices like Oculus and Vive did with like the whole virtual reality thing when those things came in and made VR a whole big thing, and then even companies like PlayStation and all that moved in on their own take with that kind of stuff. I can't. I'm kind of interested in to see where like all of that goes, especially if like other companies like eventually try to like barge their way in there and try their hand at stuff like this. If that's an avenue that other people want to try to go down. It also sounds like it could be very well beneficial for people like me who don't really have access to like a lot of the more I guess high end stuff. Like if I could get something like my hands on something like this, I would have a much better time of like keeping up with people like you who have like maybe not the best equipment, but equipment that's better than what I've got. I can at least try to like keep up with them in terms of like playing games, like being able to be attentive in there for my friends and such, which would be really neat because that's usually a big issue for me. Like I can't afford to keep up with everybody, but with something like this, it seems like that's going to be a genuine option now that'll be available to me, and that has me happy. So that's I guess that's like my whole like take or understanding on the situation as it is right now with the whole Stadia thing.
Yeah, I like that. I think a lot of people like underestimate stuff like this. I think like because like you were saying a little bit ago, like I would kill to have something like this where I can play PC games or just games in general with these. We haven't been able to game in a while. Recently, we've been playing like Minecraft and stuff because your laptop can barely run that because it's Minecraft. But like,
Yeah.
say like the new, I don't know, Fallout 76 came out on a thing. I'm just saying because he likes Fallout. Regarding that it was a travesty or not, I wasn't gonna say Destiny because he doesn't like shooters. So before
Wait,
internet
Fallout
comments come
76
at
was
me,
what now?
a travesty.
Oh, oh, that's gonna be an interesting conversation to have for another time.
Yeah. So like before internet trolls come out, I'm just saying that because you like Fallout. But say like we wanted to play something like Fallout 76 because you like Fallout, I like Fallout, stuff like that. We could play that on Stadia, stuff like that. Not saying it's confirmed, just stupid game out of my butt. Because I wasn't gonna say COD. He won't play COD. But like, if we ever did play COD or something like that, this comes out for Stadia. You can hop on with me. We can stream, have a grand old time, 4K,
At
60
Pork Chop
FPS.
118 YT on Twitch.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. There you go.
But yeah, just stuff like that. I think it's like you were talking about other companies coming in like this. I think it's like interesting because this is another company. Like Google hasn't had interest in this at all. And it's like we heard the rumors and leaks about it like years ago that Google was interested in doing gaming. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be another box to cloud up." It's like, "Oh, no one's gonna play the Google gaming console. That's gonna be stupid." But then they come out and it's like, "It's not a console. This is literally just a way to play this on anything you want." And I think that made it more lucrative. Like this is a Google
You
thing they would
thought it was
do.
gonna be the Chrome box, but it was the Stadia!
Honestly, like this is something Google would do because they really do have like they if anyone had the resources to do it, I feel like it's Google. And like I'm just happy like someone like Google is stepping in and doing something like this, paving the way for gaming. It's like I'm not saying Google doesn't have their own stock, their own interests and stuff like this, but I think it's interesting. They talk about being gamers. It's like they came down and saw like the closed business practices, especially like even Sony to this day keeps trying to do, and like I just I find it interesting, like looking forward to the fall of Sony and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm a Sony pony, but
A
I
Sony pony? Oh, I love that! Oh, it's the greatest thing!
do you not go on the internet?
I don't!
But
This is
no,
all
like,
amazing!
but I'm a Sony fanboy. But like, I get ticked off at everything they try to do. But I'm just looking forward to seeing like the downfall of these closed market business practices because it seems like Xbox and the console side has been trying to break that for a while. They're trying to do this XCloud thing where like everyone's unified under this one service. Like, I don't think Xbox has too much stock in it. Like, I don't think they want Xbox side to be on everything just because it's their thing. I think like they know that they as Microsoft have like a bigger focus, like a bigger ability to make better, like networks. Because I honestly I do like Xbox Live a little bit better than
Mhm.
PSN. So just something like that coming in, like I don't know. I'm worried that Xbox wins this generation and then goes back to how they were at the beginning of this generation for the next one, like closed off like they were trying to be again. But it looks like they're really trying to be like more open and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to see like how Google and Microsoft kind of pave this way of like being more open. Like Xbox has said, we want crossplay, we want cross progression. Xbox has said we literally do not care if you play on Xbox. Play your games anywhere. We will put out exclusives. We will put out good games like Halo, whatever. We will get these companies the resources to make good games, and you play them wherever. We just want gamers to be happy and play the games. And like I'm, that makes me ecstatic. I think it's insane. Like especially growing up with all this. Like obviously we didn't grow up when the NES and stuff was at and stuff like that were new, but I think
Mhm.
I can safely say both of us played SNES 64 when we were younger, stuff like that. Obviously, we weren't like 10, 15 when these consoles started coming out. But, like, we grew up with the younger stuff, even going up in our generation with like the PlayStation 1, the 64, the GameCube, and stuff like that. And growing up,
GameCube gang.
GameCube gang. And then growing up to stuff like Xbox Live and PSN with the 360 and PS3, stuff like that. And it's like growing up in a world knowing, all right, Xbox has their thing, PlayStation has their thing. We're not gonna cross over, and like now it's just crazy. Like crossplay is becoming a huge thing. Call of Duty just announced crossplay. Like
Hmm.
the big juggernaut is doing crossplay. Fortnite, love it or hate it, does crossplay, does cross progression, and like that's the one game. Even Sony was like, all right, everyone's gonna lose their shit if we don't allow Fortnite to do all this. And it's I really want Sony to actually come down off of their rocker and be like, all right, we're more open. We don't care about money anymore. I mean, obviously, companies care about money. You need to make a dollar, but there's more. There's more than caring about keeping your business afloat instead of caring about milking every penny and not cooperating to keep the business, booming. Because if they keep doing this, I don't know. If I'm going to PS5 at the beginning of this generation, like Xbox has probably sold me to going back to Xbox again this generation if they really put up a fight. And maybe I'll do more Stadia. I don't think Stadia will like be. I don't think Stadia is gonna be like your one console if you have PC, if you have Xbox, PlayStation. But like I really think I can see myself using Stadia for a lot of things, especially since I don't have a high end PC. So if I'm like, I really want to play
I
this new
barely
game
have a
in
PC,
4K.
so
Exactly. Stadia would be really good for you if this works out. Like I said, if I were to get the Founders Edition, like give a buddy pass, like that's a smart move that they include a buddy pass and something like that. Like that kind of shows that they want this to be a cooperative thing. Like they care about gaming and experiencing things with like together, which is exactly why they said, "All right, buddy pass and a free copy of Destiny 2 with all the DLC, everything." Like it's just crazy, man. Like everything's becoming so different, and it's for the best. Like I don't know. I wish I had like a note sheet to pull off of because now I'm just kind of like rambling or whatever. It's just
eh.
it. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
it's it's crazy. It's the world we're like coming up in. The things we're able to do now. The fact that like someone can run a game from a server and I can stream it to my crappy tablet PC. Like I'm
Or my crappy tablet PC.
exactly like this really I if casual like audiences and markets are able to like if Google's able to market this in such a good way where basically casual audiences like understand what this is, understand that if you're a low income family, this is a console replacer. If you get this, if you can play Stadia, whatever, it's free. Stadia is a free service that you can buy games onto or whatever. So if your kid wants this one game, you get him that one game, and he doesn't have to pay for the service of Stadia. They even said you can use any controller you want on Stadia. You don't have to use the Stadia controller. So you can get this kid this one game, and you don't have to go out and buy them a console. But if you want the service, it's looking like there's gonna be a lot of games, not every game, but a lot of games on this service for $10 a month. I think that's doable. I think that is such a good practice, and I'm blown away. Like
Yeah, it all sounds like it's quite quite a bit of progress. It's almost hard to believe, like looking back on it, like just how like rapidly things progress. Like when we like look back on like smartphones and stuff, and like the phones that came before it, like
hmm.
we don't really notice that big of a gap in technological advancement, or like we don't really think about like just how fast things progressed. But now we're like in the with stuff like this, we're like in the middle of it, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it happen right before our very eyes, and it like puts into perspective, like, wow, things are like vastly improving, like every single day. One day we will have those flying cars.
I really don't doubt it. Like seeing all the advancements in technology, like this it sounds stupid if you're like a Stadia hater. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm a Stadia stan, like I'm a Stadia fanboy, I'm gonna ride till die. I really think this is interesting. Like being a tech nerd, like this is interesting seeing like how this advancements are coming. Like I don't have to run this game. I just get it ran somewhere else across the world and get it brought to me. Like, and then with Google Fiber trying to be like more spread out across the world, they took it away in my city for some reason. But
Hmm.
like, I think they're trying to make more of a like a thing of that coming around too, and it's interesting, man. You have anything else to say about it before we close? I could probably ramble on for another half hour.
Nah, man. I think I've said my piece like regarding the whole situation. Like, it's not that like I'm not interested enough to come up with anything more to say, but like I am like genuinely like I'm glad I came here today to like learn about what this is. I mean, I could have looked it up myself, but you know, videos got to get those clicks. Uh, but yeah, like I'm pretty again, I guess cautiously optimistic about like what this is and what it's gonna come out to be. Like when is it supposed to like be a thing? Like, is there any like official like
um,
announced release date or anything like that, or are they just like, is it one of those things that like, hey, this is a thing that we're working on?
during the like live stream thing, they kept saying that this year or something like that, and then I think on the website somewhere it said get it by like November or something like that. So by the end of the year, I think Stadia should be a household name. It should be going to your streaming to your houses, and
All right. Yeah, I'll have to
yeah,
keep a lookout for that then, because I am like genuinely interested in what this is.
I if we see more about it, I'm not gonna jump the fence right now, but if we see more about this stuff, I might and I like it, I might jump and get the Founders Pass. Like I could Founders Edition. I can see myself using this, especially for that Buddy Pass to let you like get access to these games. Like even if you don't like it, like you can hop on Destiny with me just for like shits and giggles one day to test it because it's free. You know, like
Hmm. I never said I didn't like Destiny. I just said I
I
haven't
just
like
don't
played
like.
it.
True, you just don't like FPSs, and I understand that.
I mean, I play Bioshock.
That doesn't count.
It totally counts. What are you on about? Okay, we have to like cut it here. We're gonna go on a tangent that's gonna last like an hour.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I wanted to get like Andrew in here on it. Obviously, he's my best friend, but like I'm trying to be more in the industry. I honestly kind of want to like be part of like game journalism, at least on my YouTube channel if it never goes. If like a career of actually writing articles stuff like that never goes, I want to be able to do it on my channel too. This
Dude,
is
there's
my
like a website
version
for like
of.
freelance writing if you want me to link it to you.
I know I've been looking at a lot of that. I want to try it out, but at least even this YouTube stuff is kind of my definition of like gaming journalism. So I'm trying to like I follow leaks, I follow this kind of stuff, and Andrew doesn't necessarily do that. He loves obviously he loves gaming, but like, he doesn't follow it as much as I do. So it's interesting to get like his dichotomy on it and stuff
I
like
live
that,
under a
especially.
rock.
Exactly, especially coming from someone who doesn't get the chance to play games a lot. Like I think it's interesting, like hearing his thoughts on, it, especially about this whole Stadia thing. So I think that's it, guys. Do you have anything you want to say before we go?
Nah, man, I'm good, fam. Did I use
All
that
right,
right?
yeah, boy. That was cringe. That was cringe. But yeah, make sure to go in the description. Give Andrew a subscribe.
I'll make videos one day.
If I can get him to write his script, just hit subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Andrew's been my biggest supporter. He's always in my Twitch streams. He's always in my comments giving me like feedback. He sometimes helps me when I'm writing scripts Well, I mean, he doesn't like provide words. He just says, "Hey, that's crap. Change it."
Yeah, I'm just there to make fun of him for moral support. Moral support.
I'd really appreciate if you hit him with a follow, with a subscribe. Follow him on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch, Porkchop118YT. If I
Shameless
haven't
plug.
changed
There
my
we go.
if I haven't changed my name by then, I'm really considering it. So just hit me with a subscribe with the bell. I would really appreciate that. I got a lot of good projects coming up. Andrew's gonna be joining me for some E3 post E3 thoughts every time a live stream an event happens for E3, one of the press conferences. We're gonna watch it together. Might
Yeah,
stream
join
it.
us. It's going to be real exciting because I've never actually watched an E3 myself.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. We might stream it, we might not, but afterwards we're gonna get back in the same setup and we're going to talk about E3 and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a riot, it's a hoot and a holler. It's gonna be really cool. I really hope you join me for that. Uh, yeah, this is going on too long. I appreciate you guys sticking around. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. I'll see you in the next time, guys. I can't talk. I'll see you next time, guys. I
There
love
you
you.
go. He made it.
Peace out.
Ah, fucking finally! Ah! God, I can't believe I had to put up with that shit for like half an hour!